Hello.
Hello. Posting the agenda in Softgov. We don't have a big agenda today because we still didn't finish the code of conduct. So we'll be doing that until we finish that. And I hope it's going to be soon. We had some big hacking sessions last week. Hi, Juan.
Hello, Livy. Hello, everyone.
Hi, Ivy.
Hi.
So does anybody has an intro question for us to start? Okay, I see Juan thinking. Hi, Mateo.
How are you?
Oh my God, Evie's here. Hey, hey, hello. Oh my God, it's so late. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, I'm doing the recording this time.
Okay, so I didn't have a backup question. My bad. Next time I will have. And so maybe we can just have a quick check-in of like maybe intentions and distractions, but also if you want to share anything else, like how you're doing. How are you? Okay, how are you arriving here in this moment? How are you feeling right now? I will start. I am feeling a little bit nervous. I'm feeling my heart beating fast because I really want to facilitate the ongoing of this document in the best way possible. But I feel like it's a little bit complex in my mind right now. So I'm hoping that that we can work well together. And I'm also feeling excited for the day for the book club that is coming next. And it seems like there's a lot about to happen in my planning today. So I'm excited. And I'll pass to Zep.
Thank you, Lee. I'm excited and nervous at the same time because I'm leading the facilitating the next book club, and I think I understood quite well the things she was explaining there, but it's going to be tough and fun at the same time. And I feel well at the same time because the exercise we just did with Jess was super fun and exciting, and see what everyone how they see the token engineering commons. It was so fun to do it together. And I'll pass it to Nate.
Yeah, I'm doing good. Just kind of recovering from being sick all week, so getting in here and talking about stuff is really exciting. Looking at that code of conduct is kind of daunting too, because it seems like it should be so easy, but it's it's a an evolving document forever. So, but yeah, really excited to get back to it. And I will pass it to Griff.
Hey guys, yeah, I'm feeling really good today. A friend of mine came in in Ecuador, and it's nice to have, like, you know, one of my best friends here and actually have a physical hug with someone I really know. You know, it's just really cool. So kind of high off human contact today, which is nice, and very excited to see the Softgov. I mean, Nate mentioned the code of conduct and how hard it is. I think it's because we're taking it seriously, where most of the time the code of conduct is something you check off the list. And instead now we're like, no, actually, how do we want to conduct ourselves? It's pretty cool. And I will pass it to Metaverde.
Oh my goodness. This is how I'm feeling today. Peeved at myself for taking a day job. I was bored and hadn't worked for almost a year, and took a shopper job at a grocery store for their online shoppers, and it turned into it's like pushing a huge trolley with 9 totes and using the scanner. So if like somebody wants 10 cans of soup, I have to scan each can of soup and each tote. It's, you might get miles of walking, but like I was looking for miles of walking, and I thought it'd be like kind of like, you know, like, I don't know, shopper madness or something. And I made it very clear I only want to work a couple days a week, and I don't want long shifts, and I'm not doing it for the money. I just want to walk around. And I got a message at 7:30 this morning with this big list of, oh, plus you're supposed to pick your own schedule, right? You're supposed to be able to go online and pick your own schedule. This is what I was told when I got the job. I got a list this morning, and they said, well, your goal is to fill in a shift for every day. You have half hour to respond, or we're picking the schedule for you. And so I had to ask them who they think they are. So I'm a little ramped, but that's okay. I'm just going to go full-time blockchain. I'll find my own way to walk. And Griff, my goodness, it was Correa. I think I was saying Correa the other day, but it's Correa is who I really liked. I am so excited every time I see you. You're always happy. You're always bouncing, and you're in Ecuador. So you just every time I see you, I'm reminded I need to get a passport and GTFOUS. So I am going to pass it. Did Juan already go? Did I miss that? I'm passing to Juan if he hasn't gone yet.
Okay, thank you. I'm fine. I'm also excited and a little bit nervous because I'm very excited because the gravity training starts this Thursday, and like I've been like planning this and making the slides and like engaging everyone. And now that it's coming, I feel a little bit nervous, but I think that things are going to go well. I'm also happy and so proud of the work that we are doing here in the teasing, Softgov, in transparency, in gravity, because I think that these are the things that are going to make our organization be resilient over time and to be able to prevent some conflicts, and also to have like an enduring settlement for our purpose. So yeah, I'm very happy about this, and I will pass it to Mateo.
Hey everyone, hope you're doing fine. I feel great, I feel good. These couple of weeks have been really wild, been really productive, so I'm glad of that. I am keeping the level to that. So I feel blessed because all of what I've done, I think it's going to have a great repercussion. So I'm excited to see the consequences of the good efforts. That's how I see it, and I am excited for that. And as long as I have coffee, everything will be fine. So yeah, I'll pass it. I'm not sure, Santi.
Hello, guys. I'm feeling great. I have the feeling that we keep growing and growing every week as we progress, and I'm starting to see the end of the. I'm just starting to see the pinnacle, and that's great. I also feel that there's a lot of work as weeks go on, but I try. Somehow I see we're reaching there, so it feels great. and that's about it. I'll pass it to I don't know if Jake went or he was just saying hello when he joined. So Jake, it's your turn.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay, Kewen. I'm coming to this meeting fantastic. I have a new desk and a chair, and that's really, really nice considering. The other, we have a separate little group for some of us, and Juan, thank you for sharing what you did for the importance of transparency. That group is going to be really critical with your gravity, and I really excited about moving forward. Hold on, Bob.
Sorry to interrupt, but I can hear your kids in the background. Sorry.
Yeah, okay. All right. Thank you, Juan. Thanks, Zep. Thank Evie, and I'm gonna pass it back to Livia. Let's go.
And I'll pass to Ivy.
Thanks, Livia. So I'm kind of feeling nervous and excited too. I'm nervous because this is the first time I'm recording a call, and I don't want to mess it up. So thanks to Zep for teaching me how to do it. And I'm also excited because I am excited about the code of conduct. I mean, in our project, everything is so techy for me, and code of conduct is something I'm more familiar with. So I'm really excited about that topic. And I pass it to Aiden.
Hey. So yeah, I haven't been to this before, but I'm feeling pretty good today. And yeah, just curious as to what kind of goes on in these meetings. Again, Sean just wanted me to join in and thought it'd be good for me to kind of participate. And yeah, it was fun doing those little exercises with Jessica in the comms meeting. But yeah, that's about it. I'm pretty good this morning, a little tired, but yeah, it's a sunny day. And I guess I'll pass it to, I'm not sure who else hasn't gone. Maybe Kewen or something?
Hey. Hello, guys. It's a snowy day here in Sweden, and it's pretty good, although as with last year, still a lot of stuff to do. But I've heard that they're gonna do something on the code of conduct of this server, and I'm really excited about it. And I would like to contribute for some suggestions. And I guess I'll pass it over to, let's see, Sam Things. Wait, what? Is it Sam Things or screw it? You can do it if you want.
I think everybody went, right? Cool. So I just want to pass it to Santi or Matteo to give a quick update on source Cred. So just a quick recap of last call. We had we saw a lot of the progress of what's been happening with source Cred, that it's pretty amazing, and we had it released, right? A test that is running, and you guys can talk a little bit more about this. And then two questions that came up was, how are we gonna reward what is being tracked by source Cred, and how are we gonna integrate with the praise system? So we've been talking about this in the forum. I'll post the forum link in the agenda, the contribution reward. If you're not in the agenda yet, it's in the Softgov call, because it also has the code of conduct document in there. So I just posted in there the contribution reward forum section that we're talking about source cred and praise and how this is going to develop. So we're not going to have this conversation right now because Santi updated us that it's good to have the test running for a little bit, and then when we can see the data, we'll have more information to make these decisions. But I'll pass to you guys if you want to complement anything.
Well, we were showing a little bit of the progress in the last Friday on the legal working group session, just because I wanted to get some inputs on other questions related to legal. But I posted a link. I posted a flow chart on the issue on GitHub where you can see where we are. We've basically been getting data. We've been taking a few decisions like leaving away Discord initially. We've started grabbing data, and I've started creating these charts to see the progress of what source cred measures, which is called cred, basically, which is the percentage of somehow contribution of every single one of us that's joining the system. And we created a fake distribution the other day with Mateo to see basically if the expectations we were having from the data were becoming were matching the distribution. We're gonna do 3 or 4 more in following weeks, and after that we think we should be ready to create a proposal and discuss it before the final DAO is up and running, and answer all your questions and doubts and see the best way to implement it. So I don't know if you want to add anything there, Mateo.
Maybe a little bit more of understanding of what is up right now, so everyone can see the fake real test cred, because it's real as a measure, but it's not real as the token it is and what is going to be distributed eventually. But that's the data that is collected since the first weeks of November. You can see and try to check and play around with the values. I know it's really a mess, but what I'm trying to achieve with everyone is that if you feel uncomfortable or you believe that something is wrong with the measures, that's the way that we can start discussing and fixing it. As every week we could handle the little percentages and values and see where the right spot is. So this first distribution will serve for that. So if you are curious, you can check it out right now and see how it can develop if you believe someone is getting less recognition, or if you personally feel like you are not getting enough through that automatically measure. And the other thing is, no, I think that's it. Okay. If you are not in the source cred list, it means that I haven't verified you yet. So because I've missed it, I have to do it manually. So if you happen to not be there, please DM me and let me know so I can add you and check the identity and all the accounts that must be linked. Right now, GitHub and Discord. I try to do my best to mix the ones that I know already, but maybe there are some confusions. I think the instance right now is able to show that. So yeah, that's it. I think that's all. I guess, Livy, you make a couple of questions when you mentioned us. What were they?
Just one thing I wanted to add here that we were discussing with Mateo the other day. The guys at MakerDAO, they have a forum like thread where they publish the data on graph, the charts of every distribution. Okay, my intention is to have live charts, but live charts progress with time, and if you don't take a snapshot, the information goes. So I think starting with a system like the ones that MakerDAO have is great, because you can go to 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, see what was going on there. The picture is there. It's like keeping a record of what was the distribution every single time that someone was being distributed. And maybe later on we can have live charts, but initially I think it's probably much better, and we can discuss that as we get closer to the time that we will set up source Cred.
Yeah, and I'm curious how we're going to integrate it with Praise. I assume that we would just do every 2 week snapshots anyway, and then that would go to the Praise quantifiers, and they turn Cred into impact hours some way.
My idea was to keep both, Griff. Just have some contribution amount to the impact hours, the system that we already have, and another amount for the source Cred distribution. That's what I think.
I think for after the TEC launches, that's how it's got to be, right? Like, you might as well have 2 different buckets. But before the TEC launches, having Cred, we only have impact hours for the TEC hatch. We don't have we'd have to change something with the tech.
Okay.
So
I didn't think we were going to be launching source Cred before the tech hatch. I didn't think so. But if we want to launch it first, of course, we'll have to figure out a way to distribute hours to the source Cred. We can discuss that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, from what I understood, there was a blocker for this discussion to happen. Is that still valid? That we should let it run for a little bit and then look into the data and then have this discussion? Or you think it's something we could already be talking about?
Well, we already have data, but I think it'll be much better if we wait for a couple of weeks and we have more data, maybe another distribution, fake distributions that we're running. And this way we will have a much clearer picture of how the system is working and all the parameters that we have set. And if we want to tweak any of those or just leave it as it is, and then decide how we implement it and when we implement it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I mean, I would say when you guys have it ready, we should use it. I wouldn't wait till the hatch. If it gives us some insight into the magic that's happening, then yeah, I mean, people are making impacts. They should be rewarded.
I was just gonna actually say what Griff did. If you have it ready, do it. Let's see it. Let's see what you got.
Okay, no problem. We'll put it on the table when everything's ready and we all decide together. That's the point.
Exciting. Okay, cool. So yeah, just a brief intro into the code of conduct. Griff and I were talking and we even thought that maybe code of conduct is not the best name for it because it's more like how this work started was for us to understand the boundaries and rules of our system. And some things are overlapping with the code of conduct, but some things are more like the structure of what are the actions we can take in the TEC as a whole, considering all of the mediums we have to exist and collaborate and communicate. So I think, yeah, part of it is the code of conduct. And I feel like this part we still have to develop. It's kind of done. Let me show my screen. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So this was like the old code of conduct that we got it from Github, and we adapted. So there are many things here that we could use still to have a more general, like what you can do, what you can't do. But then having this separated into each one of the sections is more to like understand the actions, the like, yeah, like what can we even do, and then understanding what we can do, seeing what are the possible dangers from it or what is actually required from it. And then this I stole from Ostrom, this like 3 questions of how to understand the rules of the system. That is, what actions can be taken? Is this action or outcome required? Is this action or outcome forbidden? So just a quick intro, if not everyone was aware of what we're doing. So we had a few hack sessions to fill this up, and there's a lot already done, and I think the process of refining it might be easier to do async. But then there is one new one that came up that was the praise code of conduct. And since we're talking about source cred and all of this, I wonder if it makes sense to do this right now or to wait until we have the source cred and then combine both, or if we can do the praise right now and then later we add. That probably makes more sense.
So is there any difference in process when it comes to source cred attribution versus praise? Like if I'm giving you source cred or I'm giving you praise, is there a difference in what I'm able to do?
Well, basically is the way we manage it. There's the people who vote right now with praise. Well, first there's the people who give praise, then there's the people who vote those praise that get into the spreadsheet, and finally there's Griff who summarizes all and publishes the data. In source cred, there is going to be right now what we're doing, Mateo and I, which is tweaking a little bit the information and the parameters and making sure that everyone who's participating is there and everything's set and making distributions. So at the end of the day, there's someone taking care of those processes. And I guess what the code of conduct should reflect is the way those members should do the work.
So what actions can be sorry, do you want to follow up, Nate?
Yeah, sorry, just one more thing. So the issuing of source cred is going to be a response to the issuing of praise. Is that correct? It's a follow-up process to kind of quantify it?
No, not actually. The way we have it now is that we issue impact hours from the praise system that we have implemented. Source cred is a different story. It's another way of rewarding contributors, and it's completely independent of praise. Okay, so there will be 2 of them, and there's people who has to manage both of them. And what I understand by Levy's proposal is that we could start with the code of conduct of the praise system and then add later on the source cred one when we have it ready, or work on both, or wait till we have source cred and work on both once we have source cred ready.
Thank you.
So can we all jump in this document? And I think the way we did last time, so in the last hack session, we went through each one of them, seeing how they were structured, if there was something that we needed to add or that we needed to take out. But we kind of went over most of them. So so I think we could all, I'm thinking what is the best time to do this. Does anybody has a suggestion? If it's better to go async and everybody picks one of them to refine, or if we should do all together each one?
I honestly think your work sessions have to be progressive. I mean, I don't know about everybody else. Async is fine too, but your hack sessions have really produced a lot of results.
Okay, thanks, Jake. Okay, so let's continue with, I think the one that was more like, that had more to work on was the proposal section, because we were in doubt if we should make only one for all the proposals and then add some type of specifications, or if we should divide in this 3 types of proposals, but then it becomes 6 because they can also be submitted to the commons. So for the conviction voting proposal terms that will go to the commons, what are the actions that can be taken in this medium? Proposals can be flagged by any member of the community. Several flaggings may lead to taking down the proposal temporarily. I think, Juan, you added this one. What else can we do in the CV proposal, session in the commons? The question is, do we need one just for the one code just for the forum and another one for the DAO, or we can mix both? And
so I was actually thinking about, there's a distinguishing how to distinguish between, the code of conduct that I think could be applied to all types of proposals, in terms of just like how we treat each other, how things like the expectations we have when we have dialogue can be applied to almost all proposals. But then the other aspect is the process for each individual type of proposal. So, which is more not along with the line of code of conduct, but rather expectations in the process. So I don't know if, is there like a master code of conduct for all proposals and then have the procedural aspects of it after?
Yeah, that's what I was mentioning in the beginning, that we would separate the code of conduct that is like a more classic code of conduct to be applied to all of them. And then for each one of the sections to have what are the actions that you can have on them, and to just like have a line of, like, have a boundary of what is that, what are the actions, what can we do here. And then for the proposals, I think the question is, do we need to go like super specific and have something for the forum and something for the commons, or we can have like just one big thing that involves all of them?
at least for use case, we will definitely separate pieces for every touch point, like you're doing with the CV. So, you know, I think it's fun. I think you're doing it right. Like having it all in one place so we can reuse as much as we can and don't have to repeat ourselves, and then having the specific pieces. I think it's perfect. The one thing I would suggest is that we should really avoid doing any work on conviction voting and the bonding curve because they're still not stable in the plan. In fact, it's very likely that conviction voting is going to have disputable conviction voting. And anyway, there's some dev updates here, and because of this this lack of a stable foundation, I would just avoid doing any work on conviction voting and bonding.
Okay, thanks for the update. So we can block this one for now. Oops, I did the wrong one. This is the forum. So we block the one for the comments.
I think you can also block CV proposal term forum too. Because there, well, no, I guess you're right, because there is people proposing stuff already, right? So.
Yeah, and then since people were and that's something else we were discussing, if these proposals that are going up now, they should go to the advice process section or straight to the CV. Because if they go to the advice process, people understand, it's also kind of a disclaimer that people understand that they will have to change some things before submitting to the comments. So I thought that could be like nice.
I'm actually a big fan of that, just because whatever standards and procedures that we put in here, they kind of need to be ingrained culturally among us and how we do things, and set expectations for others who want to put up proposals. So the more we practice that and more we enforce it, I think it's going to be better off in the long run. Just kind of create standardized processes and expectations for the community.
Cool, so we can revise together the advice process one. And hey, Shui Garcia. Hello, welcome.
Hi. Hi, I was just hanging out here because I'm from the One Hive community, and I'm getting involved with Garden. So Griff recommended to be here, so I can probably get some context of what you guys are working on. And well, yeah, I mean, from what I've read, congratulations. It's great work.
Thanks, Joey. Actually, I was thinking the other room that only has 2 people in it. They're talking about the narrative for the TEC.
Okay, got it. Sorry. So you guys have a good day.
No worries, man. There's a lot of action going on here. It's not as easy to just say, "Oh yeah, go to the Discord. You'll find the room." Anyway.
Okay, cool. So let's revise the advice process together. So I'll just read what we have already, and then if you feel like there's something missing, please just pop up or add it straight here. So what actions can be taken in the advice process in the forum? You can request advice in the forum section. Everyone can tag experts and individuals that are or will be affected by the proposal. You can add comments to a post. The proponent can incorporate feedback based on their discernment. They can move the proposal to a voting category in the forum, and community stewards can guide new members to the advice process. I think this one maybe doesn't belong here. And then this process is not required, it's optional, but it's highly recommended. And then forbidden, what is forbidden is violating the general code of conduct. And this we put here to be like, it still needs to be refined, but just being mindful of who you are tagging. So you also respect people's attention. Is there anything you think is missing here or that it doesn't belong here? Okay, I'll take this as a sign of perfect. And we can move to the conviction voting proposal terms in the forum then. So this might be tricky since the other one is blocked for now. So you can post a proposal to fund TE projects in the conviction voting section of the forum using the conviction voting proposal template. And then, I don't know if anyone has thoughts about this. Post a proposal to fund TE projects, period. Like we're not putting a limit on any types of projects. And I think that makes sense.
Yeah, I think it makes sense to be TE projects.
Yeah, same. I think it's good.
Okay. Post a proposal to fund something unrelated to the TE field. I think this could be considered I think this word forbidden will like be modified. It shouldn't be forbidden. Something lighter, like not what could substitute forbidden?
Discouraged.
Prosecuted.
Perfect. Discourage is great.
Discourage is great.
So it is required that the proposals that will go to the Commons have been posted in this section of the forum in advance. And it is discouraged that to propose something unrelated to the advancement of the TE field. So everybody knows that, like, I don't know, there's a guidance that if a proposal has nothing to do with TE, it's very easy to point to this and be like, this is not cool. And it is recommended that signaling proposals.
I think we're going to have to. It's okay. I think we're going to have to define what is in the TE field and give examples, because anyone who's making a token project can say, well, I'm token engineering, fund my ICO, and that's not really what we want to do. So I think we're going to have to really dive into that a little bit. Also, in the post a proposal to fund something unrelated to the TE field, isn't that being discouraged?
Yeah, I just thought like all the actions would go to the top and then, but maybe it sounds confusing. You're right.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay, my bad. These are the actions that people can do, not judging if they're good or bad.
Yeah. And then we judge them here under, but maybe later when we refine this, it would be more clear to just have this two.
So is this the terms for posting, or is this the terms for interacting on the forum? Is there another set of terms for interacting on the forum?
Yes.
Okay.
So
cool.
Interacting in the forum. Yeah, because I thought proposing was something very specific, that it needs like its own.
Yeah, cool. Sorry, I'm out of the loop. thank you for explaining, Livia.
Yeah, thanks for asking. So, and then yeah, that another action that is discouraged is signaling proposals, because we had this discussion here of how we want to divide proposals, and even though the conviction voting has this possibility, we don't need to like burn space and tokens on chain to do something we could do in the forum. So just adding there that it's preferred that they go to the signaling session.
Yeah, and so the idea is to have a by the time it hits on chain, that you have a fully fledged, everything is prepared proposal ready to go, and it's whether it's just yes or no at that point, right?
So it ends up not being yes or no. It ends up being prioritized effectively. So it's but at least you did the advice process on the. You got feedback before you put it on chain, and then it's like, whoa, there's a lot of things. So, but the way conviction voting works, it's not a yes time box. It's like gathering support for your priority.
That's right. Over time, correct?
Yeah, over time.
And then dandelion voting, I feel like I would really need help in this one. Maybe this Griff, would you have something to add here? What actions can be taken in the dandelion voting?
Sure, I can just add a couple sentences right now. If you guys want, you can skip to the next one.
Okay, cool. I put here that it's an instance that can be used to change the commons parameters, and that any changes involving the DAO smart contracts, but there's probably a lot in the forbidden section that should be added. And then I'll complete the forum after you add to that one. And then the forum proposal terms, you can propose to implement or change cultural agreements following the forum proposal template using the poll tool available in the forum with the option yes, neutral, block. So this, I wanted to check if we want to change this format. So I thought of having two types of format for the forum proposal. One is this, that is the one we've been using before. And then the other one is to propose the proposal for signaling purposes. So you can use the poll tool available in the forum and put up to 5 choices. So those would be 2 different types of proposals. When you want a decision to be made, you would use just the yes, neutral, block. And when it's just signaling, you could use the poll. Comments, questions, or it sounds good?
I think it sounds a little bit on organization of the document, because I feel that like a lot of ideas and that we are in the right path, but the document is a little hard to read. I would love to join in one hack session when we can stellize.
I think you Could anybody hear one?
That my concern is because I feel that it's being like a little bit hard for reading, and I think that when there is a hack session to organize all the information, I would love to participate to make it like easier for people who is much into the tech to understand.
Yeah, there's a lot of there's a lot to organize for sure to make it cleaner here. And I was asking more in general, like if it makes sense, this division between the signaling proposal and the forum proposal, and then that will be like very well communicated in the forum. So now it sounds confusing because it's so many of them, but then once someone joined the forum to make a proposal, that will be like right there.
Yeah, I definitely think having some type of informational, pinned message within those types of within the forum, I think is very beneficial. Just to say, hey, here are the two dominant types of forum proposals that you can utilize and for what purposes, and hopefully they don't need to use a forum proposal that goes beyond that, but if they do, they have the freedom to.
Yeah, nice. I just wanted to check if that like sounds good, and then I'll add to the forum. There's a little TLDR there already, but they could use more information. So I'll add that if there's no blocks to this. Jake left. He was on the GitHub. Yeah, we can go over the GitHub to see if there's anything else that can be added here. I added a few too, so submit issues related to the workflow project sprints of the TEC to the TEC Coordination Workspace Board. Post repositories related to the developments done in the TEC, assign people to issues, comment in the issues about their progress, assist to sprint planning sessions, move the columns of issues according to their progress. Source Cred is linked to the TEC GitHub to reward contribution. I put this here just to understand how to plug this information. And then required, it is desired that all the work related to the TEC is on GitHub to facilitate coordination. And we commit to update the issues we are involved in. And then what is forbidden is to move, modify, or close issues that are related to you. Any comments or anything to add here? Should I do, everyone's so quiet today. Should I do a round of like, what are you guys thinking that could be improved in this based on what you're seeing, or any suggestions, anything we could work together? I'm kind of feeling that this is becoming more and more like an async document that just has to be polished and information added and refined.
I know it's frustrating when you're the only person that's like doing the talking, but I'm not in the project enough to feel like, I mean, I'm not saying that my input's not valuable. I just don't have the vibe to be, you know, I'm here to listen and pick up on the culture. So that's why I'm being quiet. And trust me, it won't last.
Yeah, that's great feedback that maybe there is information missing for people to contribute. So
I love this document. I think that this is something that we need. That, really good ideas and very well. And it's very good that we have taken the time to see the different actions in every phase or channel. So yeah, I think that went, and the only thing is that I think that we should make it like easier for external people to read. That's the only thing that about.
Yeah, in my opinion, we were doing a great job. And like, for example, we did first like the brainstorming at the beginning. And for example, in my case, I have no more inputs to add because I already, what I'm thinking is like, we can go with what we have. And then if in the future something happened that we didn't think of, we should edit it. And yeah, I mean, it's I think it's not have to be like a manifesto, like it's there and we can never touch it again.
Yeah, I really appreciate like the scope of what this is gonna, I assume is gonna turn into, because it's not just the code of conduct of the individual members of the community, but also talking about the processes of how we, you know, submit proposals, how we act online through our community, each channel that we have. But it's interesting to see if, I don't know if it's possible to separate the actual code of conduct from the actual procedural process, because I think the procedural process is going to have to be even more in depth in terms of saying, okay, well, how do we enforce this, and what's the code of conduct for the moderators on the forums and through Discord, and making sure that we have clearly articulated, you know, procedures and enforcement of these procedures throughout, you know, every system that we create, because you know it's a social system, but it's something that needs to be cultivated within the community to say, this is what we expect. If this is not what is expected, then this happens, and if that doesn't happen, then this happens. And so just articulating that on paper, I think, is really important.
Maybe constrain the difference between what's a behavioral code of conduct and what is a responsibility code of conduct, because sometimes, as if you step in with a specific role, the responsibilities can be confused with how you should conduct, but the behavioral rules are what should be understood from the beginning. Specific actions are responsibilities for a specific role, but the conduct is just how you should behave in a certain context. And I find that we are doing it really well within the different contexts that this is having right now.
yeah, thanks everyone. Yeah, that was great feedback, and I think things like this, it should be like what we're looking for the most, you know, seeing like, oh, we put here that we have to fund TE projects, but we don't even have a definition of TE projects. So what are those blind spots that exist in this document that are like, we can't assume this, or we need to like put more work into this. So this was actually very helpful to clear my understanding of what is needed. And then the next session, I'll plan accordingly and do some refinement in this doc and have it more structured so we can have a more productive session. And give the separations. I think changing the name, maybe we need to change the name completely. It's not a code of conduct, it's something else. And then having the code of conduct separate and using something more general that already exists, and then picking pieces of this, of the rules and boundaries that we are identifying to add to the code of conduct, right? Rather than the opposite.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Cool. So we're in the top of the hour, moving to the book club. And thank you so much, everyone, for coming and who wants to come with us. We're going to be in the DAO Book Club server. I'll post a reminder in the channel. And I see you guys soon.
Thanks, Lydia.
Bye.